Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Chicago. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Ben Seck. We're in the semifinals. Jadine Clarens on the left there. She's playing mono black, straight up mono black devotion. She's playing against Adrian Sullivan with his kind of quirky blue-white control deck. It's got the standard shell that we're used to, but it's got some one-ofs and some things that you don't normally see. And here's a Thoughtseize from Jadine on turn 2, and she's going to see
a Planar Cleansing, a Sphinx's Revelation, and then 2 lands, like Temple of Epiphany and a Plains.
Right.
So, like, Adrian actually, unfortunately for him, mulliganed to 5 cards, so he's a little short on cards, and so therefore that Thoughtseize was really brutal, taking away, like, his one of his ways of getting back into the game.
All right, so, but the Temple of Epiphany is going to leave a card on top for Adrian Sullivan. And it's just a Mutavault here on turn 3 for Jadine. There's a pretty nice opening for her to resolve, connections, even just like a Lifebane zombie or something, and there was nothing there. And that was the card that Adrian left on top. It was Jace, Architect of Thought, to help get those land drops flowing, and they're going to, as he reveals 3 lands off the top.
So Jadine basically doesn't want him to have a Mutavault, which makes a lot of sense. I think Jadine has a Hero's Downfall, which is basically limits Jace to being essentially a fancy divination.
Sure. Except for it's a divination that makes you discard a spell. Not too bad. And here's Desecration Demon, though we see that Adrian's actually just 1 land away from casting the Planar Cleansing that we know and that Jadine knows that he has in his hand. It looks like she's going to be able to get in for 8 here, though. No, Last Breath is going to take out the Mutavault, which is a really big deal. I mean, that Mutavault can get very pesky down the line. It's just not vulnerable to sweepers at all. But she does get in 1 hit with the Desecration Demon, dropping Adrian down to 14. And is he going to have to pull the trigger on that cleansing here, or does he find something else? Well, he did.
Yes. So he kept the cleansing in his hand. Basically, it acts as a very expensive way of dealing with.
So what's the reasoning for keeping it in his hand rather than just using up all his mana now?
He like connections. Basically, now
Gotcha.
that if he wants to kill like connections, he can just tap out and kill it again. He'll get 2 for 1, but not. He stops the flow of card advantage, and so he definitely will cast it now. Jadine will definitely draw a card.
Right. So
and
nice play there from Adrian, leaving the correct card in his hand so that he can take out that connections. Those connections add up fast, and they can be a huge issue if the game goes long. What does Jadine have now, though? Another Mutavault. That's pretty good.
And a Pack Rat.
Pack Rat, and it resolves. All right, so she just got 2 sweeper effects out of Adrian Sullivan's hand. The thing she really has to fear here is Sphinx's Revelation, right? That's like what she doesn't want to see.
Yeah, I think if there's no Sphinx's Revelations.
She makes a rat. She gets offered a Rashad token. It looks like she might be declining it. Yeah, no thanks. Don't need that. Sick burn. Rashad's face. Jadine doesn't need it, but she does have a second Pack Rat on the battlefield now.
So she might actually decide to attack with the Mutavault and create a rat, because it essentially makes it a 2-turn clock.
I think only one card in hand here for Adrian, so he can't pull any Quicken shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you still can if it's a Quicken, right? But you have to be very lucky to do that. And in they come. Attack, attack, attack. Make a rat. You were right.
Yes, she's going to like really put the screws in. Attack for 8, putting Adrian to 6. Now a mere removal spell is not going to, like a 1-for-1 removal spell, not going to be good enough here. He needs a sweeper. He has 1 turn to draw it, and he draws a land, so he's going to die.
All right, so Jadine Clarens picks up a relatively quick game 1 here.
Yeah, no, and an important one too. She was on the draw, so therefore, like, she was going to be a little bit slower, and so, like, Adrian had a chance, would normally have a chance to get counter magic up. Adrian forced a mulligan to 5, just had his hand kind of like weakened with a Thoughtseize, and so this could never really come back in time. Now
it looks like both of our matches are in the sideboard phase here.
Yeah,
not sure who won the back one.
We'll find out who won the back one here, but let's have a look at the sideboards for Adrian Sullivan and Jadine.
All right, we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's take a look at our locked in for the World Championships as of now. 2013 World Champion Shahar Shenhar, he's been locked in. He was the first one locked in, right? 2013 World Magic Cup Captain, that's Raph Levy. with Team France.
That's a new slot that didn't exist last year.
Right, that's a new one. There's been a few new ones added. Pro Tour Theros champion Jeremy Dizani. That would go to an at-large player because he's also got a ton of pro points for his region. So he's taking kind of 2 slots there. Pro Tour Born of the Gods champion was Sean McLaren. PT Journey into Nix, of course, Patrick Chapin. So he's going to be in. You know, he was saying at the PT that his dream was actually to win the World Championship, and this was just a stepping stone on the way. A nice stepping stone. There, buddy. Magic Online champion was Lars Dom. And I was really impressed with his play at the Mox, and so he's going to be there too. Currently, now this isn't set in stone yet. Those other ones were locked in. They're going to be there. Right now, the player of the year is Reed Duke, and he's got a sizable lead, but we still have 2 GPs and a Pro Tour to go, so he is not untouchable. Rookie of the year, Jared Betcher, is pretty close to untouchable. It would take some extreme circumstances for him to lose the Rookie of the Year race, and there's still a slot to be taken by the Pro Tour Magic 2015 champion in Portland.
Yeah, and this tournament is really like exciting. And now we have a look at the other country geo-based slots.
So this is more if the season ended now, which of course it doesn't. Again, we've got 3 GPs and then the last Pro Tour here. So Li Shitian, Nam Sung Wook would be from the APAC region. Jeremy Dizani, but remember, he's already got it locked up from having won a Pro Tour, and Stanislav Sivka from Europe. In Japan, it's Kentaro Yamamoto, and then Yuya Watanabe, with some other people lurking there, I think, on that list. Latin America has Willie Adel and Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa, and then our North America right now is Reed Duke. Again, he's also sort of pseudo taking a 2 slots there, and one of his very good friends, Owen Turtenwald.
Yeah, no, I mean, those 2 players, they play test together.
World Championships if the season went at large. So these are the players that didn't fit in any of the categories that we just saw, but have the most pro points besides all of them. Josh Hunter-Layton, Tom Martell, Sam Black, Paul Rietzl, Josh McLean, Ben Stark, and Alexander Hayne. And this one is the one to keep an eye on because, you know, the Pro Tour can shake that list up a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But have a look at those players. Those players are
these are the at-large bids.
Right. I mean, they're just nothing but quality there. I would say the most surprising name on that list is Josh McLean. Josh McLean's a relative newcomer compared to the rest of the players on this list here.
All right, so everybody shuffling down in our feature match area still, including our secondary feature match there, where we have Yuta Takahashi playing against Tyler Bloom. And Yuta's up a game? Okay, Yuta's up a game.
Yeah, so going as generally predicted by us. I mean, obviously anything can happen in best of 3. Jadine will probably bring in 4 Duress, 2 Read the Bones, and 2 Erebos. Those are the cards that are really powerful against Adrian's deck.
Man, Duress is so good.
Yeah, I mean, having 4, now she'll have access to 8 1-drop, targeted discard. Really kind of can be brutal when you're leaning on certain cards like Jace, Sphinx's Revelation, and then if she wants to, she can actually go for the threats in Adrian's deck. So the Aetherling, the Elspeth, those kind of the cards. He's going to be really bombarded by that, and then having Erebos as another kind of card drawing threat in addition to his Underworld connections, really important.
It's like another Underworld connections, right? So.
Yeah,
interesting stuff there for sure. Also, she can take different lines based on our opening hand, right? She could just pick apart Adrian Sullivan's hand and find pressure, you know, sort of indirect pressure from the Underworld connections. But she can also, you know, have a pack rat in her opener. And remember, Adrian Sullivan, you know, usually when you see blue-white, you think, well, you know, they've got Supreme Verdicts and they've got Detention Spheres, and all of those things can take care of the pack rats just easily, but he doesn't necessarily have access to Detention Sphere.
Yeah, he just has more sweepers in the form of cleansing, as well as Supreme Verdict. Okay, Adrian starts off first, puts down the Elixir of Immortality.
Now that could matter a lot. There's games against Mono Black where it doesn't. But when the game goes long, because sometimes this gets very grindy matchup, and all of a sudden getting that elixir that, you know, if it gets pegged on turn 1 by a Thoughtseize can be a big issue. As it turns out, well, we don't know where it's going to go, but I believe that there is a Temple of Epiphany a couple of other lands, a Render Silent, and then Jace Architect of Thought, which is what Jadine's going to take away with her Thoughtseize.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a kind of light hand on the part of Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Not a ton going on, but it also means that a lot of his best cards are still in his library. And there's no Pack Rat here turn 2 for Jadine, so Adrian Sullivan gets to have a little bit of wiggle room, and he's got that Render Silent in his hand here. And it's a Lifebane zombie. Now that's an interesting one. You got to feel like he's got other answers to it, and there's a lot scarier threats, but he just doesn't want to get any pressure on him at all, so he's going to maintain his life total and fire off that Render Silent. And here's a second copy of Jace Architect of Thought. It also explains getting rid of the Lifebane zombie, right?
Yeah, it allows him to, he knows he can draw 2 cards rather than having to like up it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually
now,
interesting.
what about the Mutavault, though?
Yeah, the Mutavault does pressure it. So I guess now that she has that open, she may go for that way. I know I saw in her hand she had a Erebos.
Oh, an Erebos.
So she might want to try and land the Erebos rather than try and attack. But Adrian Sullivan given the choice of land and quicken or divination, and he takes the divination.
Are you surprised he took divination there?
No, I don't think so. I think he needs more kind of like consistent card drawing action, and so quicken is not going to get him there. So he just wants to have like more raw cards.
Yeah, I know a lot of the players, a lot of the blue-white players started playing divinations in response to Thoughtseize becoming, you know, a huge player.
Yeah,
you can just outcard them.
Yeah, no, I think that's the general strategy with divination. It's not powerful enough that, you know, if they Thoughtseize or duressed it, that you feel terrible, but it really does incrementally get you like a little bit above.
Right.
Okay, so now we see the fact that like Adrian does not have any cards except for a Supreme Verdict and 3 lands.
Right. Now he does have double Scry land here, so he's going to be able to, you know, kind of keep that momentum going, try to find some big action soon. But probably just going to fire off that Supreme Verdict on this turn if he doesn't find something better, as Lifebane Zombie's pretty annoying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really like what Jadine is right now. Like, Adrian's a little bit flooded. Jadine does have some good threats. She's kind of put a, you know, a little bit of a dent in his life and put up some pressure here. Yep.
Verdict, and there's a Mutavault. Not a bad draw there. That can take care of one of the other Mutavaults if Adrian wants to risk activating it. You can't figure that Jadine has a ton of spot removal left outside of the Hero's Downfalls.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's just going to trade it off here.
Basically kind of using it as a wasteland.
Right.
And then opening the way for a Desecration Demon.
That's right.
Which doesn't leave Adrian with that much time. He actually has to answer this. This is a 3-turn clock.
Yeah. There's still a second Mutavault there for Jadine as well that can keep pecking away. You know, if it takes Adrian a turn or two to answer the Demon, that Mutavault can become a huge issue, just cleaning up the last few life total of Adrian Sullivan.
Yeah, I mean, he still obviously has the Elixir of Immortality, so that presents yet another turn.
All right, Cyclonic Rift, though, is going to send the Demon back, and interestingly, leave Jadine with only 3 untapped mana because of the Mutavault, so she needs to find a swamp, and she has it.
Yeah, she has it, and she redeploys the Desecration Demon.
And unfortunately for Adrian, he hasn't found his Essence Scatter.
I think they're just double checking the life totals.
We've seen the Mutavault hit Adrian twice.
Yeah, so I think the life totals as displayed are correct. But we'll just make sure that that's what they're asking for.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So if we snapshot this game right now, how far ahead is Jadine?
She's probably a 2-to-1 favorite here.
Okay.
Like, definitely not impossible for Adrian to kind of like come back, but I would say definitely a strong favorite because she has threat. She still has Erebos in her hand, if I saw it correctly. Adrian does not look like he has anything relevant in his hand, which is actually also, like, I would say, you know, unless Adrian is able to draw like a card drawing spell very, very soon.
There's one.
There is one.
1, 2, 3 and
Oh,
3 more
three
lands.
more
But
lands.
he's still got to be happy to be getting rid of all these lands,
It's
right?
true.
And not have to deal with drawing. I mean, drawing 3 lands in a row here, just dry would be pretty much the game, I'd think.
Yeah, and Adrian almost forced to take the Mutavault because now, like, the Mutavault can't easily kill the Jace. He can't, like, just send a Mutavault over.
He also can use a Mutavault to fog the Desecration Demon for 1 turn at some point here. JD might actually offer the trade anyway. No, she's going to combat. Activate Mutavault. Attack both. Who's going where? One at Jace, one at you?
Yeah, I think I oh, that's
Oh,
a
Demon's hitting Jace?
I'll activate my Mutavault. Check. Block your Mutavault. Check.
Activate Mutavault, block, and Jace down.
Right.
Okay, so she shows a lot of respect to Jace there. I mean, Adrian's still at 21 life here, so she knows she's not going to kill him this turn anyway. But there's Erebos.
Yes.
And that's a big problem for Adrian down the line. Thankfully for him, though, it isn't going to hit him quite yet unless JD can find another couple of black mana symbols on her side.
But one of the things that you know is a little bit underappreciated is the fact that Erebos locks out life gain. So
True.
Sphinx's Revelation still draws cards, but does not actually do doesn't gain life anymore.
Is that Opportunity
That
and
is-
Island?
Yeah, Opportunity Island.
Okay.
Well, that actually
That's big business.
that is probably one of the biggest chances like Adrian has to get him back in the game. Oh.
Duress your opportunities, but he is going to get a chance to resolve it first, but this is still bad for Adrian because she gets to take whatever the best card he gets
Yes.
is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see him, Adrian. What do you got? And he finds not a ton. He's got a Jace, Architect of Thought. Wait, is that a Deicide?
It is a Deicide.
Oh.
I suspect that she may take the Deicide.
Protect. I mean, he's not I mean, letting him have a Jace isn't fun for her, but it's not like a Sphinx's Revelation or something like that. And that Deicide is going to really be super effective here. I mean, not only is it going to take out Erebos, that's going to also unlock the ability for Adrian to gain life at some point during the course of the game. It shuts off her card advantage engine, but she takes Jace again. She has a lot of respect for Jace. She put the demon in her graveyard. Adrian's like, the other one.
So, but also by playing the zombie,
Yes.
it activates
Correct.
Erebos.
That's 11 damage.
And
And
then
Adrian Sullivan just took in 1 hit.
And now, like, she could Adrian Sullivan can Deicide, but like
She gets a card
She
back?
gets a card back.
Sure.
So, like, Adrian's still in a really, really tough position. I mean, he has Azorius Charm. He has the Deicide, which he must cast.
Yeah.
It's not like he has a real like option not to. And even if he casts the Deicide, he's still facing 11 points of damage, so it's still lethal.
So the Azorius Charm can be used to put the demon back on top,
Right.
assuming he gets to the attack step, because sometimes you'll see Jadine draw a card off of her Erebos, draw a card for the turn and be like, duress you,
Yeah.
and then you're in a I mean, he's just dead probably if that happens. Sketchy stuff here if
Yeah.
you're an Adrian Sullivan fan, as he is in a pretty tight spot here.
Jaden, plenty of life to work with.
Draws a card, and here's Deicide. Remember, he gets to see the card that she drew. It's
Oh.
a swamp.
It could have been another Erebos, so that would have been unfortunate.
That
But-
would have been.
But
There's one on the bottom. He's going to get that one.
there's so many cards here that really kind of like make it like curtains. If you draw something like a Grey Merchant, that will be for 6. Put it like
Yeah, he's actually pulling those up too to see how many Gray Merchants are left.
yeah. This Adrian like has now gone from a 2-to-1 like dog to probably something on the order of like 10-to-1 dog now. It's like really, really back against the wall. Has to hope that Jaden draws nothing this turn, and then he draws something like Sphinx's Revelation.
Right. Yeah, he's going to take 3. He's probably going to take 5 damage on this hit, and then he's going to get to put the Desecration Demon back on top of the library.
Right. And has to hope.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Has to hope that
she even has outs to just blank that whole
Right,
line.
right. If she draws like a Duress, if she draws something like a Thoughtseize would be particularly good here.
All right, here we go. Jadine draws her card for the turn. She's going to go to the Mutavault activation step here.
Okay.
And send in the team. So we knew this was coming. Azorius Charm puts a demon back on top, but again, that's half of Adrian's remaining life total here. And this draw step coming up is going to be big. What is
it
this,
a rat?
pack rat? She's thought better of it. I think it is a pack rat. You know, what else costs 2?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything. She must have a pack rat, but she's kind of like being pretty cautious, not playing into the potential verdict or like cleansing.
I mean, she's got lethal on the battlefield here, right? I guess she plays a little into like a spot removal spell of some sort.
Right, right, and it's the one thing that Adrian's deck does have. It has like a little bit of spot removal here and there.
Yeah, I think I like playing the rat there. If he does find a sweeper, you're drawing a demon. It's also lethal.
Right. I'm with you there. I think, like, you know, giving him an extra turn spot removal is much.
Okay, this is
worse.
a lethal attack. Are we going to see a handshake here, or does Adrian Sullivan have something? He played a Darksteel Ingot for his turn.
So he has a
Azorius Charm. Wow, so he is going to live for another turn. He takes 2 damage here, and now it's like Sphinx's Revelation.
Yeah,
is it enough?
It's probably not going to be completely enough. Now, Adrian drew a
Wow.
verdict.
And that is actually enough to keep him alive for a turn through the Mutavault.
So now
oh, baby. This is getting close. He's got one more draw step left in him. And does Jadine bother with
I
the
think
presumed pack rat?
Yeah,
she does.
I think she goes pack rat. Now the spot rule doesn't lose her to the game.
Okay, here we go. Is it a revelation? Is it a something that can gain him some life? Would the elixir save him here? No, the
I
pack
don't think
rat
so.
probably.
There's a lot of damage there.
He's passed a turn back. Pack rat got activated. Swamp hits the bin.
And now it's actually like 8 damage here. So like
right.
Sphinx's Revelation does not easily get her out of him out of this.
Yeah, he can only revelation for 7 here.
Right.
Only 7, I say. All right, Jadine sends him in and earns the handshake here. Adrian Sullivan's going to have to settle for a semifinal at this GP. The last time he was in the top 8, it was right before the millennium,
yes.
1999-2000 season.
Yeah, no, Grand Prix Memphis in the 99-2000 season. I mean, that's just like a long time ago, like essentially a lifetime ago, because it's almost like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
that
definitely there are players that played in this GP that were just being brought into this world around that time. So Jadine's in the finals. Now we're going to look at our secondary match here. This is the other semifinal, Yuta Takahashi. He's playing against Tyler Bloom, and we got a game 3 here.
Yeah, no, it does look like Yuta is in the driver's seat here, just like he has 3 underworld connections to Tyler's 1. He's also has a Grey Merchant of Asphodel and a full grip.
We're going to see a Black Devotion mirror here one way or another in the final.
Right.
We're getting a little glimpse of one right here, Tyler Bloom versus Yuta Takahashi, but Jadine awaits.
Jadine really is the juggernaut this weekend. She was 9-0 day 1. She stumbled a little bit, had like lost 2 during day 2, but now she's got to the top 8. She's got 2 in a row.
1 left. So here's a duress.
Yeah, the duress took 1 of 2 Devour Fleshes from Yuta's hand. He only has land and a Spectre, but he's soon to probably have more cards because he has essentially 3 personal Howling Mines.
Right. All for himself.
Okay, so I think that
are they figuring out what turn it
yeah,
is, or
yeah,
play a land or whatever?
Right, they're almost kind of like wonder. It's going to be really hard to work out exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know if they can.
I mean, they've got 8 lands on the battlefield for Takahashi.
Oh, they're trying to work out whether he's played a land. Okay,
yeah,
I see. This board to me looks like Tyler stumbled on land early.
And now Takahashi was able to set up the engine,
right?
And he's going to start crushing him under the power of drawing 4 cards a turn.
So I think Tyler is probably going to play a Grey Merchant here, like for 4. No.
Yep, so that's for 4.
We're
getting the life totals up as soon as we can here.
Yeah, one of the things that is open to Yuta to do is to devour flesh himself if he gets a little too close. Doesn't look like he's that close enough to need to do it right now.
No, I mean, I don't know when that Gray Merchant came down, but it would have been for 8 if it was last turn.
Right.
And Yuta draws a card.
Yeah. It doesn't look like he wants to edict Tyler. So I think we're just trying to. I think they're just working out exactly how much life they're on right now. Just doing a bit of a life check. It's really easy with all these different life swings to somehow, like, you know, just get a little bit out of sync.
That's right, and you just mentioned this play a minute ago, but Takahashi just devour fleshed himself to get rid of his Gray Merchant and gain some life, which usually just equals a bunch of cards, basically.
Right. He might be low enough that like he wouldn't. Oh wow. So he actually needed to do it to not die.
Die?
So he could be in really like dire straits if Tyler has yet another
Gray Merchant?
Gray Merchant.
Tyler's actually at 14, so you know that Yuta can win the long game here, no problem, thanks to those 3 Underworld connections, but looks like he's a little hot under the collar here.
Oh no, he's at 6, so after the
okay.
That makes a little bit more sense. He went to 7. He went to 7. He went to 7 with the Devour Flesh, and then just paid a life to draw a card here. A little bit safer. It's still kind of like in danger. I mean, a Grey Merchant's unlikely to be lethal because Yuta has not only has a Hero's Downfall, but Ultimate Price.
Okay.
Tyler has in his hand a Devour Flesh of his own, as well as a Vile Blight. So definitely has the card to deal with the Spectre, so that won't be too much of a problem. Yep, I'm going to Vile Blight the Spectre. Going to attack.
Mutavault comes out, and both creatures are going to battle here. All right, there's Ultimate Price, and there is the aforementioned Hero's Downfall.
Yeah,
so nothing gets in that turn. What's the follow-up play? Well, it's an Underworld Connections for Tyler Bloom. He's not going to activate it yet, though.
It's much better. Yeah, it's much better for Tyler to have his Underworld Connections right now. It's 14.
Yeah, he's got 2 Underworld Connections going at 14 life.
Yeah.
I'll take that over 3 at 6. Make that 5. And is he just digging for a Gray Merchant here? Is that the plan?
It's got to be the plan right now. I mean,
he didn't find one. He did find a Night Veil Spectre though.
And he may stop. He's like 4. The biggest problem now is that any Gray Merchants from Tyler are lethal because he has 2 Underworld Connections, and so therefore would be for
and
6.
there, he found it. All right,
yeah.
so is he going to play one here and gain 8?
Yeah, no, it's like
boom.
Absolutely no reason not to play it like immediately.
Right. There it is. He goes back up to 11.
And 8 puts Tyler to 5, like really puts a kind of a cramping on his ability to use the Underworld Connections.
That's right. Also, the Mutavault's not getting in anymore thanks to the Gray Merchant here, and that was a huge find there for Yuta. That was the last card he could draw that turn off of his connections, and he hit what he was digging for, Gray Merchant. And it looks like it's put him in a great spot here as Tyler Bloom is going to be going down to 3 here. And Yuta.
Oh, Tyler draws his own Gray Merchant again.
Did he find his own Gray Merchant?
Yes.
Oh man, these life total swings. That judge is going to go crazy down there. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. He's going to draw another card, go down to 2 here. See if he can't get another black mana symbol or 3 on the battlefield here. What did he draw?
Oh, I think he drew a Spectre, which actually does get him another 3.
Unfortunately, he can't cast both this turn unless he has a land drop. Well, no,
no,
even then, he's only got 6 mana.
Yeah, not quite. And it's going to be interesting to see if he like wants to try and like get a little greedy here. Maybe just play the Spectre. No, I think at 2 life you're playing with fire there.
Agree. He does have a Devour Flesh in hand too. You can use that to gain some life just in case Yuta goes for some big play.
I gain 6.
So Yuta goes down to 5. Tyler goes up to 8. I think that Yuta only has 1 more Grey Merchant left.
All right, here's a Thoughtseize though. It's going to show Hero's Downfall, Thoughtseize, Spectreland land.
Very, very likely to take the Hero's Downfall, I think. I think he's more than happy to let the Thoughtseize happen. Like this,
just as a life hit.
Yeah, his hand isn't like so impressive that he cares about like getting Thoughtseized.
Agree, and he did take the Hero's Downfall there.
Okay, so Yuta probably has like 1 set of turns to perhaps draw the like if he draws another Grey Merchant, it's over. Like
right,
the game
it just ends.
Well, I guess that he also tapped out, so he's actually tapped so low that he cannot cast Devour Flesh to gain life.
You're right. So it would end the game. So Yuta can just dig 4 cards deep here to try to find a Grey Merchant if he wants.
Okay.
And he's got 5 life to play with here too, so let's see if he can find it. He finds an Erebos. That would be active.
Show it when you get it.
I mean, it's not like Tyler has lethal set up, right? Like he's not actually able to kill Yuta with what he has on board.
No, that's true. I think he still wants to see if he can like have a shot.
It just win it
just
right
win
here.
it right there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what's the difference between like 5 and 1 damage here? Not a lot, right?
No, not a lot. The big thing about I would say
Another
Erebos right
Erebos.
now is that it nullifies the Devour Flesh plan of
Right.
being able to gain life. So now
The
Tyler,
shields, they are up.
yeah, like Tyler really needs to draw his own
His own Grey Merchant?
Grey Merchant to win this game.
Because
here.
that will still kill Yuta. It might
Right.
not gain him life, but who cares? So here he goes. He's digging. Can he find a Grey Merchant in there and seal up this match? Put himself into the finals of this Grand Prix? No.
But he still has 1 draw.
He does.
He's going to see if he is he going to cast more spells. I think that he really was kind of like relying on
Here he goes.
his ability to gain life.
Let's see if he can find it.
No, it's another
No,
Spectre.
It's another Night Veil Spectre. Now that's not too shabby here though, right?
Right. Like he doesn't die on the spot again.
Right.
This is actually kind of interesting because
It is. It's really interesting because Takahashi now doesn't get to just dig a million cards deep with his Underworld connections. He doesn't have enough life total to work with.
yeah,
anymore.
he can probably go for 1 more card.
Yeah.
We will, because I think 2 life is pretty much the same as 1 in this case.
Tyler did fall down to 4 here though, but he's going to have at least 1 Night Veil Spectre on defense, and the only thing that's really going to be able to attack is the Erebos here, and that can get chump blocked by anything. Is that a rat?
He's a rat.
Okay, this gets really interesting. Does he have enough mana to make a rat token?
No, he does
Okay.
not. So Yuta's going to essentially get to draw 2 cards this turn. Then he's going to be locked out of drawing cards unless... No, I pretty much draw locked out unless
Yeah, exactly.
he draws a Devour
Devour
Flesh.
Flesh would do it, but does he find a Grey Merchant?
No, but he draws a... no, I can't see exactly what he drew there.
I'm not sure either, but
I
it
think
wasn't
it's
a
another
Grey Merchant.
Thoughtseize.
Here he goes, going for a Grey Merchant. Last chance.
Couldn't see what
I
that
couldn't
is.
see it either. Yuta hiding it a little bit.
No, it looks
I
like...
think it was a temple.
Yeah, no, I don't think he got there.
I don't think so either, although he's still not dead here.
No.
But he's getting closer.
Yeah, the thing about the rat right now is it allows Tyler to have
Just more creatures,
more
right?
creatures to block,
Yeah.
to chump. He can essentially top deck anything, and it will still at least be a rat.
Okay, so this is a lethal attack with Erebos, so this must be blocked or dealt with somehow by Tyler. He can throw the Mutavault in front if he wants.
I
He
think
can
he's most
throw
like...
the Grey Merchant.
Yeah, I think the Grey Merchant is the best thing he can throw right now because it's just a 2/4. It's not like that much. It doesn't fly, so he needs to keep a flyer to block the other opposing Spectre.
And there's going to be more Spectres here too. I
Yeah,
think.
and that's I think how like Yuta's more likely to win here. He's likely to like swarm the air a little bit.
Erebos for blocks.
The most expensive like untap ever.
No kidding. And there's another one. He just sends the turn back. He just
yeah.
says, oh, and this is a huge tap
Yeah.
of the top of the deck for Tyler Bloom. Again, if he can find a gray merchant.
He has 3 draws too.
Yeah, that's a duress, so that's not going to get it done.
No, the rest is not going to get done. He does have 2 more draws, but if he does the 2 draws, he actually leaves himself open to dying to the 2 Spectres. So he can do 1 draw safely. But then the second one, he has to come up with a removal spell or a block.
Interesting. He's going to duress here, and he's just going to take away a useless Thoughtseize. So he at least gets to see if there's a removal spell in hand from Yuya to kind of plan out what he wants to do, and there's not.
I think he should go at least take the 1. He just so he doesn't. He knows he.
Yeah, I mean that one leaves him out of range of lethal, but also gives him the chance to just win the game on the spot if he hits a gray merchant.
And he actually has another Spectre in his hand, so he actually has
Okay.
2 blockers for the Spectre. So I think he needs to just try now to try and get to the gray merchant, or his own. To be honest, his own Erebos is like also gets him to a little bit of a stalemate as well.
Okay. Peels his card.
I don't think he slammed it.
Puts it into his hand, which is usually pretty good for Yuya.
it's a Bile Blight.
Oh, it's a Bile Blight.
So the good thing with the Bile Blight is he can actually clear off the Spectres.
It kills his own.
Right, but then he can play another Spectre.
He gets to play his own Spectre back again. He's going to use his underworld connections and drop to 2. Now that he has a Bile Blight, he knows that he's not going to die to those Spectres in the air, and he can take a little bit more risk on here. This is incredibly close. Tyler Bloom's at 2. Yuta Takahashi's at 1. This is game 3 of the semis here, too.
He kind of put himself in a little bit of a bind now, too, though, because he doesn't actually have, like, a good answer to
Erebos?
Yeah, like he doesn't, like, block very well because he's tapped down a little bit.
Now, can he play, can he, like, Bile Blight? Oh, it looks like he wants to do it on Yuta's turn.
Right. I think he wants to because he wants to see if he can, like, commit, like, less attackers. Like, if Yuta's just going to attack with just the Spectres, it means that he doesn't have to, like, have as many blockers, basically.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I kind of like the idea of getting all the Spectres off and then me having one and saying, go. It's a lethal flyer that Yuta has to answer. And he gets 1 draw step to do it, right?
No, that's true.
You know, we know that that Yuta only had a Thoughtseize and a land in his hand. I think he's drawn his 4th Underworld connections here.
Not the most useful when you're at 1 life.
No.
Back in the day, you used to be able to go to negative life, and as long as the turn didn't end, you were still alive.
You can kind of just hang out there for a while. That'd
Not
be
anymore.
good here.
We'd give him a few draw steps to try and win.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler still has a Mutavault too, right?
Right. So he can make a rat. He can actually make 2 rats. He only really can make 1 rat because he has to use 2 of the mana to like Bile Blight the Spectres. So
Takahashi's going to swing with everybody.
So I think the most likely situation is that he puts his Spectre in front of Erebos.
And Erebos.
Makes a rat, chumps with, like, Bile Blights the rest,
Yes.
and then
chumps
yeah,
the Gray Merchant.
Gray Merchant.
Sure. He also can he make, I mean, does he have enough mana to make 2 rats, activate Mutavault, and put 2 rats in front of the Gray Merchant?
He does not. He only has
Can't
7.
quite do that.
Yeah, he has
Okay.
seven remaining, and 2 of them have to be used for Bile Blight.
For Bile Blight. Now, would 1 rat and a Mutavault do it?
1 rat and a Mutavault could double block. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good block. I think 1 rat, Mutavault, make another rat, Bile Blight the rest. I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
So he's
unfortunately, Erebos is not going to be out of creature mode anytime soon here.
yeah, no, probably never again.
Not in this game, yeah. I mean, normally if you sweep away a bunch of Night Veil Specters, you could expect that, but those 3 Underworld connections hiding behind the swamps down there are going to ensure that that doesn't happen.
So now he has to determine whether he, if,
Can I go to block?
yeah, so he's got to double block the Grey Merchant.
But he has not done that.
Single block. Okay,
Yeah, he's just going to chump.
that's fine. Yep.
And that's going to do it. Yuta Takahashi had attacked basically all in and said, if you got it, you got it. And Tyler Bloom had it, and he knows that he's dead on the backswing, and that's going to do it.
Wow. So
Crazy game down the stretch there.
absolutely, and like it just really kind of like
Bloom.
it. Even though it came down to Yuta having a lot of Underworld connections, the life swings that came from the Grey Merchants were just too much, and really kind of like put him into a problem. So congratulations, Tyler Bloom, making it to the finals. Also, Yuta Takahashi for making the semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely. A great job by both players there. And you can take a look at our bracket here. We're heading to the finals next. It's JD and